Dry cell. A cell is the simplest unit for making electricity. It generates electricity from chemical reactions. It pumps electrons along wires. Two or more cells form a battery. Substances such as acids dissolved in water to form charged particles, namely positive ions or cations and negative ions or anions. These type of solutions form the electrolyte of the cell. Metal rods immersed in electrolyte acts as electrodes. The positive electrode is the anode and the negative electrode is the cathode. These electrodes attract oppositely charged ions, resulting in the flow of electrons. A French engineer, Georges Leclanche, in 1866 invented the battery that bears his name. Leclanche's invention, which was quite heavy and prone to breakage, was steadily improved over the years. In a slightly modified form, the Leclanche battery, now called a dry cell, is produced in great quantities and is widely used to devices such as flashlights and portable radios. But it was Carl Gessner of Mainz who is credited with constructing the first commercially successful dry cell, zinc carbon cell, in the year 1881. Variations followed. By 1889, there were at least 6 well known dry batteries in circulation. The dry cell is a modification of the wet Leclanche cell. The parts of a dry cell may be understood by observing the vertically cut section. The anode is the graphite rod. Graphite is a form of carbon. The zinc container is the cathode. The electrolyte is the moist jelly-like paste of ammonium chloride and starch, enclosed in the metal cylinder as shown here. A mixture of manganese dioxide and powdered carbon surrounds the graphite rod. The jelly is prevented from drying up by sealing at the top of the cell with the pitch or asphalt. The cardboard washer is used to prevent the graphite rod from coming in contact with the zinc container. This is also called as a spacer. The zinc can is surrounded by the insulating thick paper covering. Positive terminal of the cell is the brass knob at the top, while the negative terminal is at the base. The chemical reactions that takes place inside the cell are quite complex. The simplified reactions are given here. At the zinc cathode, zinc metal is oxidized to positively charged ions, releasing 2 electrons. These electrons are collected by the graphite rod. The reduction reaction at the graphite anode is represented here. This flow of electrons produces flow of electricity. This dry cell produces a voltage of about 1.5 volts. Button cells and nickel cadmium cells are better version of dry cell. Mercury zinc dry cells are used in watches, cameras, calculators, and hearing aids. The anode is the zinc powder and cathode is the mercuric oxide. Nickel cadmium cells are rechargeable cells.